Today we are going to discuss the last lecture of Unit 1, that is bomb calorimetry and bond energy. So it is an instrument used to measure the delta H values and a constant pressure and at constant volume. So it means that it's used to measure the heat transfer during the chemical or physical process. Since it is very hard to measure heat transfer is measured in terms of temperature changes. In a calorimetric experiment, the heat lost or gained in a reaction is related to the temperature change of a calorimeter. The Q calorimeter is equal to minus Q of reaction. As shown in the equation, the amount of heat released or absorbed by the reaction is exactly equal to the amount of heat absorbed by the calorimeter, except opposite in sign. The heat flow and temperature. When heat flow into an object, it makes sense that its temperature increases. How much the object increases in temperature is depend on its heat capacity. So coming to the definition of heat capacity, it is the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of something by 1 Kelvin or 1 degree Celsius. So Q is equal to C into delta T, where delta T is equal to temperature of final state minus temperature of initial state. TF is the final temperature of the object and Ti is the initial temperature of the object, where C is the heat capacity. The next is specific heat capacity, and it is defined as the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of a substance by 1 Kelvin or 1 degree Celsius. Q is equal to mCs delta T. Here also delta T is equal to Tf minus Ti, and Tf is the final temperature of the object and Ti is the initial temperature of the object, and M is the mass of the substance. Cs here is specific heat capacity of the substance. Molar heat capacity, it is denoted by the symbol Cn, and it is defined as the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of a substance by 1 Kelvin or 1 degree Celsius. Here, Q is equal to N into Cn into delta T. Here also delta T is equal to final temperature minus initial temperature, where N is the moles of a substance and Cn is the molar heat capacity of the substance. Coming to the bomb calorimeter again. It maintains at constant volume during the reaction. Because the volume is constant, no PV work is done during the process. Therefore, U reaction is measured. The heat change during the reaction is measured with the help of bomb calorimeter. This is the instrument, cross section of the instrument. It consists of two vessels, outer vessel and the inner vessel. The space between these two vessels acts as a heat insulator, and hence a very little heat exchange is taking place in between these outer vessel and inner vessel. The thermometer measures the temperature of the liquid in the inner vessel. The stirrer functions in such a way to stir the liquid to distribute the heat in the entire vessel. The fiber rings in the calorimeter helps to hold the inner vessel hanging in the center of the outer vessel. It also has the insulating outer cover or lid with the holes for attaching the stirring rod and the thermometer. And this is the advanced differential scanning calorimeter. Here in the calorimeter, we are measuring the heat with the help of this equation. Heat is equal to M into S into delta T. where M is the mass of the substance and S is the specific heat capacity, and it is measured in joules per Celsius per gram, and delta T is the change in temperature and it is taken as degree Celsius. And the next topic is bond energy. All chemical reactions involved in the breaking of old bonds followed by making of new bonds. The heat absorbed or released in a reaction comes from the chemical bonds being broken or made respectively. Here they've taken an example of hydrogen chloride formation. Here the hydrogen and chlorine reacts to form hydrogen chloride, and all these reactions taking place in the gaseous state. Here the bond between hydrogen and chlorine are breaking, and the new bonds are formed between hydrogen and chlorine. The bond breaking is an endothermic process, that is, we have to give heat for breaking of bonds, and the bond formation is an exothermic process. The heat is released during that process. And what are the applications of bond energy? The bond energy is used to find the delta H naught of a reaction. It is measured by two different ways. In the first method, they directly add all the bond energies in the reaction. So here they have taken the formation of HBr. For that, they have taken the bond energy of hydrogen, they have taken the bond energy of bromine, and they have taken the bond energy of hydrogen bromine. Here two molecules of HBr is formed, so they have multiplied with 2. So they have calculated the delta H naught value. And this is the other method for calculating the delta H of a reaction. Here what they have done is, for calculating the delta H naught value, they have subtracted the bond energies of the reactant from the bond energies of the product. So the delta H naught is equal to the bond energy of the reactant is hydrogen and bromine, they have added, and they have subtracted it from the bond energy of the product. But if we calculate by using these two methods, the value is same. So bond energy is used to find the delta H naught of a reaction. These are some of the assessment questions expected from this topic. So I think this lecture gives you a clear idea about bomb calorimetry and bond energy. Thank you.